Somehow the world will change for me and be so wonderful. So wake up the people of our nations. It's your time to be. It's no chance unless you take one and decide to see the brighter side of every situation. Some things are meant to be, so give it a rest, leave the rest to me. Leave it all to me. Leave it all to me. Just leave it all to me. Am I gonna keep that whole thing in there? Hi, my name is Donnie and welcome to the channel, or welcome back for all my returning customers. I'm filming at 1 a.m. tonight, so watch at your own discretion. Thanks to everyone who complimented my hair. I do think one of these is sticking out more than the other. I think it's this one, probably because that's the one I sleep on, but I really do like it. Unfortunately, today we're not here to talk about my hair. We're here to talk about the Under the Influence podcast. Prominent figures being Esther, Wu Talk, Jeremy, and Viet. Here's an introduction provided by one of the hosts of the podcast, which is really just an ad for one of the hosts' brand, so maybe I'll blur that out, but I've never watched a full podcast episode. Their clips typically come on my FYP page from time to time. Most clips I didn't think anything about. Some clips I did sigh a little bit. Other clips had gone extremely viral with their takes that I would say were funny. But ultimately on the show, they do focus on pop culture, current events, and controversial issues. This is an example of a normal Under the Influence show podcast clip.
Very dim sum, sushi, or Korean barbecue.
I'm killing dim sum. Get that Chinese out of here. I'm marrying Korean barbecue. Keep the blood pure, you know what I'm saying? Also the highest protein. And then I'm f***ing sushi.
He would marry dim sum.
I would marry dim sum.
Okay.
I love those shrimp dumplings. I would Korean barbecue. I would sushi.
You would eat dim sum every single day.
Probably. That boy don't care about no oil, no calories.
It's not biased. Korean barbecue is just like meat. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? You swayed me. I'm gonna dim sum.
Which one are you sushi still?
I'm still
Okay,
sushi,
got it.
Dim sum is like deep fried sushi.
No, it's not even
Yeah, it's
similar.
like little bites.
Sushi's just cleaner, more high class.
Yeah.
Are we talking about elegant,
like,
you know what I'm saying? When I sushi, I don't get post clarity, but if I was to dim sum, I walk out of there feeling greasy and shit, knowing how many calories I just consumed, and I would definitely be upset with myself.
Recently, the podcast has become a topic of critical discussion due to their recent mention of influencer, podcast host, and New York Times bestselling author Drew Afualo. Let's check to see if I got Drew's name right. It's Afualo. You see how I wasn't quite sure about something, and then I kind of looked it up for reference from a credible source. Yeah, the Under the Influence show didn't do that.
Drew Afualo.
But before we get into the main topic that brought us here today, we're going to go ahead and go over some of their past controversial opinions, hot takes. I'll let you decide if you think it's a bad take or not. What I won't let you decide is family sip. Yeah, you thought I forgot. I don't care what time it is. I don't care what drink is on your nightstand already. Oh, you're watching me in the morning and you're drinking coffee? It's called a chase of water. Oh, I just got my frosted lemonade from Chick-fil-A. What's stopping you from asking for a cup of water with that? Oh. Okay. Yeah, oh, okay. Every day you wonder why you don't dance. Everyone who came to Family Sip with Water, cheers. So these are the controversial takes that I saw on my For You page that caught my eye about them. I'm not saying that these were their only hot takes or controversial opinions. These are just the ones that came to my attention in no particular order. So there was a clip surfacing briefly at one point where one of the hosts seemingly blamed a woman for her own attack in Korea, saying that, oh, people come to Korea and expect it to be full of K-pop idols, and when they do have a negative experience with a Korean man or in Korea, then negatively speak about Korea rather than taking responsibility for having poor taste in men.
White girl making this, or maybe she's like Spanish, but Spanish from Spain, like she's clearly European white. She's like, when foreigners go to Korea expecting this, and it's like scenes from K-dramas, but this is what happens. And then it's like pictures of her crying, she has like bruises on her arm, and then you're like, oh yeah, Korean men are shitty. What the fuck is that? Like, that's one, that's racist, you're generalizing all Korean men. You just have shitty taste in men, you are a fucking weirdo fetishizing people of a culture because of fucking shit you see on TV, and you just want to show up and then start bashing everyone from that culture. That's fucking weirdo behavior. I'm sorry I said that. And it's like it's your own fault. You have shitty taste in. It's your own fault. You have shitty taste in men.
Now remember, I've never watched a full episode of the podcast. I've only seen these clips. So clips can definitely be taken out of context. But a woman stitched this saying that he is referencing her story.
I'm the Spanish girl from Spain and they are talking about my video. I made a video about my abuse experience in Korea. God forbid, because right now I'm a fetishizer and a racist and I'm bashing the whole nationality. Damn. Some boys are gonna grab their microphones and make a podcast. How are you gonna watch a TikTok from a girl opening up about her abuse story and the only thing that you can think of is, oh, she's a fetishizer, it's her own fault. It's not my fault that I got abused. By the way, crazy. I don't know how many brain cells a person needs to understand the point of my video, but here we are. The whole point of my video was to show young women that Korean men and Korean life is not all rainbows and sunshines. It's just like life in any other country, and that men are gonna be men. That was the whole point of my video. I showed clips of a K-drama saying this is what many girls expect when they go to Korea, and then I showed them my reality. The reality that many girls go through. Many girls, not all girls. I've never said that all Korean men are gonna abuse you and that they are bad. They are not. And when women talk about all men, blah blah blah, they don't mean all men. I didn't know that women still have to explain this. It's crazy for me that you're gonna watch a girl's story about her abuse and you're gonna grab your microphones and make a little story time on your podcast. That's crazy. And then tell her that it's her own fault because she's a fetishizer. You don't even know me. You don't even know me to make that assumption. Like, it's giving the harasser mindset. It's giving the abuser mindset. I don't know. It's just the energy in the room. Like, I'm sorry that the man that abused me was Korean. Anyways, peace out from the Spanish girl from Spain who just has a shitty taste in men.
If you take a look at this clip, it kind of is a good example of misogynistic takes that the male counterparts in the Under the Influence show exhibit pretty much on a regular basis, or often from what I can see. That clip didn't garner too much attention from what I remember personally. It was largely just people saying, there goes Wu-Tak again being misogynistic as per usual.
I do want to highlight that I combed through this girl's TikTok page and I could not find her original video, so she either deleted it or it got taken down because I believe they mentioned it showed some bruises. Sometimes TikTok does take down videos for things like that. I also think it's important to recognize that Wu-Tak's point about foreigners going to other countries, having a negative experience there, and then generalizing the entire country and race dependent upon that experience is valid, just not in reference to someone sharing their SA or DV experience. Again, unfortunately, the original video is gone to my knowledge, so I can't speak to if it came close in any extent to generalizing Koreans, but it's never okay to victim blame in circumstances like this.
There is only one female host that's there regularly. Her name is Esther, and she's kind of been deemed as a pick-me because it is said that she doesn't speak up enough, whether it be on the behalf of women or even on the behalf of herself. And she herself has exhibited misogynoir takes perpetuating race science that's negatively affected not only the Black community but especially Black women. Apparently Esther unprovoked brought up a study that was referenced to her in whatever capacity about the size of Black women regions.
You guys, okay, I'm gonna say something kind of wild, but it's because I saw it somewhere. But I don't know if we might have to cut it out, but anyways, someone said that the reason why some girls' vagina is tighter than others is because... Huh? No. It has nothing to do with that. They said that it's because, like, ethnicity-wise, like black men have, are known to have larger dicks, so therefore the women have
That makes sense.
bigger holes.
No, that doesn't
And then
make
you know
sense
how
at all. Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Now, you may look at that and say, oh, I don't think that's a big deal. She was just referencing a study. A lot of the reason why that's a big deal is just because, like I said earlier, it perpetuates sciences based off racial differences, which has been proven to be incorrect, misleading, and damaging. There's a long history of black people, and especially black women, being mistreated in the health industry and not taken care of properly based off these racially based medical studies that have no basis at all. I know that in some places these things are still taught to this day, and I know multiple black women who are scared to go to the doctor because they are afraid of being mistreated, misdiagnosed, or just straight up not believe when it comes to some of their symptoms and what they're experiencing. I am by no means the person to refer to when it comes to, the history of mistreatment of black people within the medical field. I'm sure there's a lot that I don't know. I'm positive, but I know that I've seen it firsthand. It's just a bit uncomfortable to watch everyone in that room be so willingly ignorant. And hey, I am not a person that feels like I know everything, that feels like I even know a lot of things. And I'm not fault free of anything. I'm sure there are many ignorant things that I've said, done, things that I am still ignorant to and of at this very moment. Experiences that I've never had, never will have. I didn't grow up with immigrant parents. There are certain things when it comes to like body positivity that I can speak to, and certain things that I absolutely cannot, even within the LGBTQIA community. The T, the I, and the A, there's not much I can add to those conversations. Not to say that I can't participate in them or willingly listen, but I am not going to go out of my way to speak on these experiences or bring up a study in regards to a race or a topic that I know nothing about and state it as if it were a fact. And I understand that, like, when you see and hear the words, article and study, and does like trigger something in your brain to think, oh, this is just true. But to bring up such a study seemingly unprovoked for what? To have a group of men agree that your lower regions are smaller than a certain demographic of women. You know what it is actually? The circumference and diameter of everything down there is based off the length of the shaft of your granddaddy's belly button. Yeah. Sorry you had to find out this way. I think I saw that on bigdumpystudies.org. So yeah, go check that out when you get a chance. Really informative, guys. Really good stuff. Since we're on the topic of black people, we're gonna circle back to Wu-Ta. That'll make sense in a second. I've also seen Wu-Ta get a lot of criticism for saying he doesn't know why Jay Park keeps getting canceled or why people care to cancel him. He's only seen him be canceled for like stupid things, in his opinion.
Why do you think Jay gets canceled so often? Because it makes no sense when I see him get canceled. I'm like, for that.
There's a lot of offensive things that Jay Park has done. This same TikTok actually explains it very well, but I'm gonna let this play, and you just keep in mind that this man grew up in Seattle, Washington.
Well, I'm glad you're not offended, but here's a list of the people that are. He's offended 3 major demographics, one of those even being people in Korea. In 2009, Jay Park's old MySpace posts resurfaced, claiming that he hated Korea and calling the country gay. He was removed from his group and went back to America for a short period of time. Jay has also offended the Muslim community with some of his lyrics, saying, "Worship me like Allah, get it done like Wallah." Instead of apologizing, he actually calls everyone that was offended out of pocket. Then he kind of backtracks and releases this condescending-ass apology. Then in 2021, he drops a DNA remix music video with him and a bunch of other artists under his label. The entire music video felt like a mockery of Black American culture, with most of them donning dreads, afros, and even throwing up fake gang signs. He said the song was supposed to contain nothing but Korean pride, but there are no traditional Korean elements in this original music video. Once he took note of all the backlash he was receiving, he took to his own comment section to release a very lengthy statement. He says, and I quote, "Y'all gotta realize, there's more evil people in the world than young Korean rappers with dreads trying to make something of themselves in hip-hop." He claims that the hairstyles make them feel like rock stars, and that him and his team have already donated to Black Lives Matter, thus meaning that he's not a racist. He then took to Twitter and tried to take attention off of the situation by talking about Stop Asian Hate. The video has since been privated, but he's re-uploaded a more current version.
Even if you're not into K-pop like that, it literally just takes a Google search. And if you did do that Google search, saw all these things, and then decided to say,
When I see him get canceled, I'm like, for that?
you could stand to do some reflection there. The real question is, what hasn't Jay Park done? Again, I do want to emphasize, I've only seen clips. I haven't seen the full episode. Maybe by the end of that episode, they explain and he goes, oh, okay, yeah, perfectly valid. This is just a clip that I saw floating around on my For You page. This last thing that I'm going to bring up before we get into the drama with Drew is actually just a personal beef. I don't even think that many people cared. I did see some videos about it, but it didn't seem like that many people cared. But I cared. They're talking about how Apple Music has just released a list of, I think, like the top 100 albums ever, I think. But Lauryn Hill gets #1, and Viet doesn't know who Lauryn Hill is, which, okay, fine, I guess. Like, I don't know every artist that is considered great, amazing, iconic. I wish I did, but I don't. But it's the emphasis on him not knowing Lauryn Hill, mixed with them saying that Lauryn Hill isn't deserving of the spot she was given. Roll the clip.
Apple Music just came out with their giant list of the 100 best albums of all time.
Read the top 10.
Starting at number 10, they have Lemonade by Beyonce. Number 9.
Be careful. Oh, go. Oh,
No, I love Beyonce, but
I love Lemonade.
No, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know one song off, and I love Beyonce songs. Hey, matter of fact, K-pop.
Okay, number 9, Nevermind, Nirvana.
Yes.
Number 8, Back to Black, Amy Winehouse. Good Kid, Mad City, Kendrick Lamar.
Yes! That is one of the greatest rap albums all time.
Number 6, Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder. Number 5 is Blonde by Frank Ocean.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does that got the potato across the room song?
Thinking about
That's
you know that's
Channel
Channel
Orange.
Orange, yeah.
Nah, Channel Orange is his best one.
Number 4 is Purple Rain by Prince.
Never listened to it.
Yeah,
I'll
I
be
mean,
honest.
but Prince is so iconic, I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
he must be in the top 5.
Is
Might
anybody a
not
young
listen
boy
to
on
it.
this list?
Number 3, Abbey Road by the Beatles.
Yes.
Number 2,
Beatles.
And that-
Thriller, Michael Jackson.
Yes, that's a yes.
That's
I thought that would be
100%.
top 3 or top
Yep.
1, to be honest.
Number 1 was The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill by Lauryn Hill.
That's kind of fire, but number 1 is crazy.
Who's Lauryn Hill?
I don't think
It's
she
a really
deserves.
good- I don't know if she deserves number 1.
I don't think she
though.
deserves the #1 spot. I think Michael Jackson should get the number
Michael
1 spot.
Jackson's probably number 1 in my head.
Yeah, like-
no Rolling Stones,
Who's Lauryn Hill?
no Fall Out Boy in the top 5. That's crazy.
Who's Lauryn Hill?
I mean, personally, for me, their takes throughout this entire thing really weren't giving to me. And that's fine. Like, my opinion isn't always the right opinion. Well, no. Everyone definitely has a very different music taste. But you don't even know Lauryn Hill like that? And you're saying that she doesn't deserve the #1 spot because you don't know her? Don't piss me off. L. Everyone gets a fat, dumpy L. Dingus, L. You all get L. And then, because there were people that were like, oh, you don't know who Lauryn Hill is? She's inspired so many great hip-hop and R&B artists even after her time. She laid such a fantastic foundation for so much music. This man, Viet, goes on to make this TikTok. I have to change the pitch, so hopefully I don't get copyrighted, but you'll get it. This is another example of a group of people considering a black woman undeserving of a top spot. A lot of this can be summed up to generational, cultural, and preference, right? But also at the same time, this is a group of individuals enforcing that a black woman is not deserving of the spotlight that she was given. Why does that need to be taken away from her? Simply because you don't know her? And of course, there can be a discussion had about minorities not supporting other minorities in this country. And if we keep that in mind as we move along to what happened between the hosts of the Under the Influence show podcast and Drew Afualo, it all makes sense as to why it happened and why they said the things they said. The main event. This is the clip that appeared on my For You page, alerting me that I needed to keep eyes on Drew's page for the next 24 to 72 hours.
Double standard thing. It's also the same thing, and I just thought about this the other day. This guy made a video how he's talking about Drew Afualo, how she's literally getting married, and she's like, she's preventing you from getting married.
While she's getting married.
Yeah, she's telling you to hate all men when she's marrying a man.
Yep.
Also, like, she's like, if they hate whatever the red pill version of a man is, she is the red pill version of a female.
100%. But she's also creating, she's like, if there was a manufacturer of red pill men, she'd be in the top 5.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I feel like people don't realize is like, and it goes for both ends. I feel like fem cells get created from like Fresh and Fit. You see that and they're like, yeah, I'm choosing a bear over man. Look at these incels. And then on the other end, it's like, look at this Drew Afualo, Buffalo looking woman, blah, I hate all women, blah, blah, blah.
You just want people to be able to realize they're both like.
It's just like, stop getting your relationship advice from, I guess that's us. Stop getting your relationship advice from people online.
What the fuck? Guys, if you're familiar with Drew, I am sure I don't need to point out what's wrong with this clip. However, if you're not familiar with Drew, Drew is a lovely woman who simply supports women and doesn't allow a man to dim her light. They are drawing inspiration from a TikTok such as this.
There's a chapter in her book that says, I would rather die alone. And she said, F it, I'm going to sell this to the girlies. I have a man. That has nothing to do that has nothing to do with me. I'm not dying alone. Y'all can. Hold on. Drew's man, he is in his soft guy era. This girl is going on a national world tour about I hate men. Do y'all see the kind of scam and finesse she's doing in front of your eyes? She has a man, and she loves her man, and she's telling other women, you should rather die alone.
Drew has never told women to not get married. Drew has spoken about her personal discontent and just general dislike for men. And Drew has encouraged women to not center their lives around the approval of men. Yes, Drew is getting married. Drew is an inspiration to women because she is proof that you don't have to dim your light for a man. You don't have to center a man. You don't have to do everything for a man's approval in order to end up in a happy, healthy relationship. And not only that, but to end up married or to find a man who simply loves you or you, to find a good man, a caring man, a nice man. You shouldn't have to and don't have to go through all these hoops to please a man, to keep a man happy, to get a man to stay. She's the embodiment of a woman who is intelligent, funny, independent, successful, a girl's girl. And guess what? She has a fiance. She's an example that you don't need to be an Esther in a room full of men. I'm sorry. That was out of pocket. I'm sorry. I'm sure there are plenty of examples of Esther opposing the opinions of her male counterparts and offering great feedback and criticism and all that. I just haven't seen it. But I haven't gone looking for it either. It's okay to criticize someone, to disagree with someone, to dislike somebody that you don't even know. But to say that Drew is a red pill woman, have you watched any of her content? And if you did, were you listening? That being said, when I saw that clip, I knew they were in trouble. Not necessarily in the kind of trouble where they were going to lose their platform. Because if you were watching this podcast, you were likely closer to agreeing with their opinion than being on the opposite side of them. But I knew that they were in danger of being ate the fuck up. And when I tell you Drew ate down, come here. Drew devoured these men. There wasn't a morsel left on that plate. Editing me, put the nail here, right here. If the nail is right here, I'm Drew.
First things first, team, I want to thank you for your patience. You know what I mean? I clearly have received the offerings you left at the foot of my altar. And the reason why I didn't get to it until today is because last night I was at the Hollywood Reporter Top Creators Party because I was named one of the 50 most influential people on the internet right now. Which part of the reason I got that honor is because I, unlike the men who are talking shit on me, have a podcast that people actually watch. You know what I mean? Speaking of your shit no views podcast, I saw the clip, brothers. Damn. Y'all aren't fucking with me? Wait a second, you're telling me that 3 men under 5'8" who do Vegas trips with the boys and use devil emojis on their captions don't like me? Oh my god. Yeah, fucking shocker. Yeah, I'm shocked to my core that 3 grown men built like Victor from the fucking Corpse Bride and were struggling to regurgitate the argument from a TikTok of a different dude who hates me, don't really like me that much. Oh my god, someone get Dumois on the phone. Yeah, add it to my tab, you fucking stupid bitch. Of course you hate me. Of course you do. Look at you. Of course you do. And get into this, do you know 2 out of those 3 men are older than me? Yeah, I'd hate my ass too. But that's besides the point, you know what I mean? The funniest part about everything they said in that stupid clip, other than the fact that I genuinely believe they thought I was never gonna see that, counting on the fact that I'm Varys in Game of Thrones, bitch. You talk shit on me, one of my little birds is gonna find it. Yeah, but I digress. Other than that, the funniest part about that clip is what they're saying I said. She tells women to hate all men and never get married. I have never said that shit. I don't tell women to hate all men. I tell them to forget about you. What part of that do you not hear? I tell them to remove you entirely from their brain because your validation isn't worth shit. And why would it mean anything to me? You think I'm gonna take the opinion of men who look like they really enjoy car photo shoots seriously? Girl, go to hell. A man whose scalp I can see when we're standing side by side. Yeah, his opinion don't mean shit to me, bitch. I can promise you that. And that's why they're really mad. They're not mad because I'm churning out red pill men. Which, by the way, how could I possibly create red pill men? What am I, skulking around hospitals whispering in the ears of infant children? Or do I give red pill men like yourself further reason to fucking hate women? If that's the case, mission accomplished. I hope you hate me, because guess what? I hate you too. I don't know what could be more clear about that. Which brings me to my next point. When people ask me for relationship advice and they say things like, how do I get a man like yours? My response is always this. I can't tell you how to get a man like mine. What I can tell you though is that no man is ever gonna love you the way that you should love you. So don't worry about getting a man. Worry about loving yourself outside the confines of a fucking man. But that's a big word for Elmo, isn't it? And I'm gonna end with this. If you're gonna continue to choke on my last name like you choke on my balls, learn to pronounce the shit correctly. It's Afualo, bitch. And if I were you, I'd practice saying it, you know? Because you're never gonna stop hearing about me. So you'll keep talking shit on me, and nobody's ever gonna give a fuck about you. That's it. Love you. Bye.
Drew spoke with such precision, such eloquence, such demure. I have no more words. Honestly, I could have uploaded this video and it had just been Drew's response, and that would have been enough. These men were cooked, grilled. I'm sorry to say, this group must disband. No, I'm kidding. I don't think these guys are anywhere near canceled. I don't think they're gonna lose their show. They might for sure see a drop in views for a while, but as they lose a part of their audience, there is definitely a large population of people who absolutely despise Drew. It is usually men under 6 foot who are on steroids. However, those men do exist, and there's a lot of them out there. And I don't necessarily think they deserve to be canceled or deplatformed or anything like that. Because were they ignorant? Yes. Have they had a lot of, in my opinion, not very good takes? Yes. Hopefully, with them getting such critical feedback, it opens up their mind to some things. It would be nice if y'all respected women. But yeah, that's it. Thoughts, comments, questions, concerns. If you watched to the end of this video, liked, commented, or subscribed, thank you. If you've been subscribed. Thank you so much. I love you. You're the best. You're amazing. That's only if you've been subscribed, though. Fuck everybody else. I'm kidding. Love you. Bye. Everybody shouldn't just be able to purchase a microphone. You gotta have some credentials or something. I mean, not me, Watch me. I'm not me though.